I'm ready whenever you are.
Yeah, yeah.
What good does that do me?
Recording.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to the Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. Please rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First thing on our agenda tonight is a proclamation for the Friends of Library Week. I think is it this one? Yes, that's first, okay. Can I have you step up here, please? Come on, my library friends. Yes. Come on up to the microphone so you can. Very nice. I'm so glad the ladies came out with them. Very nice. Whereas the Friends of the Library raise money that enables our library to move from good to great, providing the resources for additional programming, much-needed equipment, support for our children's summer reading, and special events throughout the year. Whereas the work of the Friends highlights on an ongoing basis the fact that our library is the cornerstone of the community, providing opportunities for all to engage in the joy of lifelong learning and connect with the thoughts and ideas of others from ages past to present. Whereas the Friends understand that the critical importance of well-funded libraries and advocate to ensure that our library gets the resources it needs to provide a wide variety of services to all ages, including access to print and electronic materials, along with expert assistance in research, readers, advisory, and children's services. Whereas the Friends' gift of their time and commitment to the library set an example for all in volunteerism, leads to positive civic engagement and the betterment of our community. Now, therefore, be resolved that I, Peggy Sue Giuliano, Mayor of Lacey Township, proclaim October 20th to 26th, 2024, as Friends of Library Week in the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, and urge everyone to join the Friends of the Library and thank them for all they do to make our library and our community so much better. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Giuliano. We really appreciate the honor.
We also have another one that came from, this was from our county library. Wanted us to read this to you too, so if you don't mind taking another minute. Whereas the Friends of the Lacey Library have served as an indispensable organization marking 50 years of dedicated volunteer service and support for the Lacey branch of the Ocean County Library. Whereas its founding in 1973, the Friends of the Lacey Library have played a crucial role in enriching our community through their advocacy, fundraising efforts, and the creation of educational, culture, and recreational programs that have enhanced the quality of services provided by the library. Whereas the Friends of the Library embody the spirit of volunteerism, working tirelessly to ensure that Lacey Library remains a vibrant community resource for individuals of all ages, providing access to knowledge, fostering a love of reading, and nurturing lifelong learning. And whereas the Friends' efforts have been instrumental in supporting various library initiatives, including book sales, special events, educational programs, which have contributed to the making of library a welcoming space for residents to gather, learn, and grow together. Whereas the support of the volunteer groups like the Friends of the Lacey Library is essential in the success of Ocean County Library System as a whole, providing additional resources and advocacy that enhance the ability of the library to serve its patrons, highlighting the importance of community involvement, sustaining a vibrant and accessible library system. Whereas the Friends of Lacey Library have proven to be steadfast advocates for Lacey's library mission, encouraging others to engage with and support the library, fostering a deeper connection between the library and the residents of Lacey Township. Now, therefore, be resolved that I, Peggy Sue Giuliano, Mayor of Lacey Township, do on the behalf of the Township Committee hereby recognize and commend the Friends of the Lacey Library for 50 years of exemplary service and dedication, and call upon all residents to join in this celebration milestone and support the ongoing work of the Friends of the Library for the betterment of our community. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mayor Juliana. Thank you so much.
You take care.
Do you want to take a picture? Sure.
Okay, well, let's get, yep. Yes, come here, Mama. Can you get it? All right, great. Where is she? Where is she? Come here, Mama.
Where's Marion? Come on, Marion.
No, stay up, stay up. We'll get here, right here. Thank you,
Thanks,
thank
Peggy.
you. All right,
Yeah,
thanks,
see you
good to
soon.
see you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'd like to just give a minute to the Township Committee, if you want to just have anything to say. Tim, I know you're on the...
Yes, I'll say something.
Yes.
One of my other responsibilities, I am the chairman of the Ocean County Library Commission, and I will tell you this, the Friends of Lacey Library, I wish each library has their own friends of that library. I wish all of the Friends of the library were as good as the Friends of Lacey Library. It would be a lot easier to do the job. You guys do a phenomenal job, and we always kind of point to you in our meetings, like, why can't they be like Lacey? So, again, congratulations. It's not easy. 50 years, that's a heck of a run, and hopefully for another 50 years. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, my mom would not want me talking about her, but I would be, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention all the hard work that she's done for Friends of the Library. She's actually, I think, the last founding member of the Friends of the Library, and she still does an awful lot of work for the library, so.
That's fantastic.
you.
Thank you, Marianne. Mr. Curatolo, Deputy Mayor, would you like to say anything?
Couple of words. Thank you,
Sure.
Mayor, and thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Any library, you walk through the doors, it's free. I mean, the voluminous information will enable you to get a world-class education over there. It's not just reading fun little stories, like when I took my daughter when she was little up there, and we had to, in the activity room, and there was a story reader. It's all the way through. You go there, you see kids from law school, you see kids from doing undergrad, seniors. It's nice having that building there. It's nice having a municipality with a library. Thank you to the Friends of the Lacey Library and Chairman McDonald for the good work that all the volunteers do. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, I forgot to say something. if I
Go
may.
right ahead.
I just looked at the numbers. How many people come into the libraries overall. People are astonished at the number of people who come in through the whole library system. And they're absolutely blown away when they look at Lacey's numbers. It's one of the top 5, when you think about it, of the libraries, with the number of people that come in that library and do work there. And it's a great library. It's on the list to be improved, I will tell you that. So, okay, so I just want to tell everyone, it's a gem. It's a hidden gem. Thank you.
I just want to say congratulations, and we're fortunate here in Lacey to have the volunteers that we have, and I can remember when my kids were young and being there for their reading, and it's just a wonderful thing. Even when I go there now for Meet the Mayor, it's so nice to see all the young people that are there doing projects and what have you. It's just a wonderful thing, so thank you, and thanks. It's always good to see you guys, too. Thank you. Okay. Number 3 is best practices checklist.
So annually, every municipality needs to submit their best practice checklist in order to receive their state funding. And between myself, Veronica, and our CFO, we have submitted our best practice checklist, and we have scored in the 100 percentile, so we will be receiving all of the state aid that is allowed for us.
That's wonderful.
Can I have a motion to accept?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Thank you, both of you, all three of you. Resident request extension of storage pod.
A resident at 2413 Good Luck Road is in the process of a home renovation, and the resident has 2 storage pods on their property, and they have exceeded the 180 days that have been allocated from their permit. So after it exceeds that amount, the governing body needs to approve an extension or a denial for the request for extension. The resident is requesting for the extension for 90 days, which brings us to January 23rd.
Move it.
Second.
I said move it.
Motion to accept the
Motion.
extension? Okay. Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes.
All right, that's it for
I
that.
have nothing else to add on.
Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Now we get to go to the good stuff.
At the end.
At the, not now, okay? Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Acts pursuant to the public laws of 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing time and date of the meeting. Please rise for the salute to the flag and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Second reading of
Before we do the second reading,
I'm sorry.
I have a special request. I'm wondering if we could say the Lord's Prayer before the meeting starts?
Well, I don't see why, I don't,
I don't, are we allowed to do that?
are we allowed?
We are,
Would you like to start?
sure.
Okay, that'd be great.
Our Father, who art in
Who art in heaven,
heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done,
on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
And lead us
not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay. Before we begin our second readings, I have an add-on for our first reading ordinance. Ordinance 2024-25, an ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, providing for the acquisition of a fire truck and various fire equipment, appropriating $1,500,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,425,000 bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof, authorized in and by the Township of Lacey in the County of Ocean, State of New Jersey. So the township has the opportunity to bid on a fire truck from another municipality whose fire company is no longer in operation. So we need to secure the funds in order to bid. If we do not, if we're not the successful bidder, this bond ordinance will be canceled.
And it should be noted, too, a new fire truck would be well in excess of $2 million.
Correct.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Second reading of ordinance 2024-23, amending Chapter 43 of the Township Code entitled Fire Department Volunteer, so as to remove the Bamber Lakes Fire Company as a designated fire company.
Ordinance 2024-23, ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 180 of the Township Code of the Township of Lacey entitled Fire Prevention, so as to delete reference to the Bamber Lakes Volunteer Fire Department. Second reading, open the floor to public comment.
Seeing none, make a motion.
No, there's a comment.
Sorry.
Oh, so I didn't see it back there.
And my hand is up.
I did not see you, Regina, I apologize.
No one does. Our agenda does not read what you're reading. No. Not even close. The fire truck bid's not on there, and then
It's
the
an
next
add-on.
Well, it's an
ordinance.
add-on.
It's an add-on.
The fire truck was an add-on.
Right, but you did it at the beginning, you usually do them at the end.
When it's an
Well,
ordinance.
she
it's an ordinance.
kept it in. the
All right,
or-
an ordinance, it goes first. What about the CWA Local 1088
What?
salaries?
Christina, can I see what?
What do you,
Well, I already put notes on mine, so you're gonna get another.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. I'm good with that. I can't even answer what happened. Thank you.
It's very unusual that you guys read what we don't have here.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, it looks like it's the September 26th meeting. Give us, give me a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll print a bunch of.
You want to,
Take a motion to go to
motion recess?
motion to go to recess.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Pausing the tape.
10-minute recess.
Sorry, folks.
Give us 10 minutes. Glad you brought it to us now.
Make a motion to come out of recess.
Second.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Can we just have, we're ready to go back, so if I could everybody just,
So you did the add-on, that's fine, because that wasn't on any agenda.
agenda, right. That was okay. Do you want me to read the,
Yeah, start over from
I
the,
was just going to
Start from the
say.
beginning, yes.
Second reading of ordinance 2024-23, amending Chapter 43 of the Township Code entitled Fire Department Volunteers so as to remove the Bamber Lakes Fire Company as a designated fire company.
Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 180 of the Township Code of the Township of Lacey entitled Fire Prevention so as to delete reference to the Bamber Lakes Volunteer Fire Department. Second reading, open the floor to public comment.
Seeing none, make a motion to close the public.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion on the ordinance?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Second reading of ordinance 2024-24, amending Chapter 180 of the Township Code entitled Fire Prevention so as to delete reference to the Bamber Lakes Fire Company.
Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 43 of the Township Code of the Township of Lacey entitled Fire Department Volunteer so as to remove the Bamber Lakes Volunteer Fire Company Number 1 as a designated fire company within the Township of Lacey. Second reading, open the floor to public comment.
Seeing none, make a motion to close it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion on the ordinance?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-288, authorizing amendments to the Personnel Policies and Procedure Manual.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing amendments to the Local Government Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual and the Employee Handbook for the Township of Lacey. This, we're making amendments as it relates to certain payroll procedures.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-289, appointing a municipal housing liaison.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, appointing Christopher Reed as Municipal Housing Liaison for the Township of Lacey.
Move it. Second.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-290, authorizing a leave of absence.
Move it. Oh, sorry. I'm out of.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing a leave of absence for Peter Jensen under the Federal Family Medical Leave Act.
Move it.
Second.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-291, canceling taxes due to disabled veterans exemption.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the tax collector to cancel 2024 taxes due on a property granted the 100% disabled veteran exemption and refund the resulting credit balance.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-292, authorizing the refund of deposit monies.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the refund of deposits held for the use of municipal facilities.
Move it.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-293, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills. This is in the amount of $1,066,252.25.
Move it. Second.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Motion to approve township meetings from October 10th, 2024.
Move it.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Abstain.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Motion to approve executive session meeting minutes from October 10th, 2024.
Move it.
Move it.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Abstain.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes.
We'll wait.
Okay, comments from the committee. Deputy Mayor?
Yes, thank you. We are on the eve of Election Day. This will be the last meeting before Election Day. And the people that know me in the town know I don't get political because it's the people's seat. And this is not the place to do that, and I won't do that. What I will tell you is I'll talk about the men. I know Mr. LeRae and Mr. McDonald have volunteered for this town for over 80 years combined. I know them, and I trust them. I trust them with my family. You can take that, or you can leave it, but I hope that nobody in this great town of ours stays home. I hope that everyone goes out and you choose your candidate, you vote. Lead me into Veterans Day, 11/11, at 11 a.m. at the monument. We always have a veterans event. We certainly invite everyone to be there. And I'll close my comments with an important piece of legislation that happened today. So it is S3006, making stiffer penalties. So with the governor's signature, it's sending a strong message clear to individuals who burglarize homes and engage in other associated criminal activities that they will do time and face severe consequences. And Senator Carmen Amato was one of the folks that fought for that in the 9th District, who are always advocating for us. It's just too much. It's too many B&Es. It's too much nonsense. Thankfully, we don't see as much of it here. But we can't be too careful. And I heard somebody say recently, well, I get 4 or 5 beeps a day on my Ring camera, and my watch goes off. And maybe it's just the Amazon person. And that's okay. And that's okay. But we're in a new normal now, and I want everyone to be, I got a family, we all got blood in this town, we've got blood on the streets, we go to school and work and do our thing. Just be careful, because we all, I'm not going to say I up here, we all care about you. So I hope the best for you. Thank you for listening to me. They're my comments, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Mr. Kennis?
Thank you, Mayor. The state has recently released its 4th round of affordable housing obligations, and Lacey Township has a present need of 52 units and a future need of 172 units. This covers the time period from 2025 to 2035. Our present need will be accomplished with the final phase of the Walters Homes apartments. So we're really just going to be working off our future need over a period of 10 years. And we'll have a couple meetings scheduled for those. But those are my comments.
Thank you, Mr. Kennis. Mr. McDonald?
Thank you, Mayor. Amy, I need to amend my vote on the township bills. I need to abstain on T0035.
Okay.
Yeah, election's coming up. And if you know me, you know that I'm a history buff. And right now, I'm deep into a book about George Washington. It's well-written, and it's probably one of the better books that I've read about George Washington, and it talks about the pain and the suffering that his troops went through. Think about all the marches and so forth like that, so that we could have this great country. And so, Election Day, there's no excuse not to vote. You have early voting. It's right down here at the new Smith Center. Down here, you can vote. Absentee vote. I think you can still vote by absentee or ballot voting. Okay, and you can get there. There will be a number put up. If you need a ride to the polls, somebody will pick you up. I'll make sure that that's up. Okay. Hate to say it because he's here. The GOP. Go to the Lacey GOP. We'll put a number up you can call, and we'll get you to the polls. Won't be a problem. So there's no reason, and I just hope everybody, it's your, in my opinion, it's your civic duty. That's all I have now.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. I just have a couple of things I just want to say, that our fire companies did 46 calls this past month. And again, our big thank yous to them. They're forever going to classes that they have to keep up with. We're very fortunate to have the volunteers, not only with our library, but with our fire company, with our municipal alliance. We're very lucky here in this town with the amount of volunteers that we have, and we're always very grateful for all their help with things. Tomorrow is the senior luncheon for the Municipal Alliance. I know that the Recreation Department had a Halloween trail, ghost trail. I heard that was a huge success. They did very well. So again, thank the volunteers that help over there too. We're just very fortunate to have all those folks that help us there. So With that being said, I wish you all happy Halloween when that comes around. And now we'll open up the floor to the public. Come on, Tony.
Tony Rizzoli, Sunrise Beach. Just to clear up a few things that I'm not getting. On the first part of the meeting that you ended, that's why I wanted to ask the question. There was an extension of a storage pad. Why wouldn't it go back to the Board of Adjustment or the Planning Board if it was a violation of a variance?
It wasn't a
Because
violation of the variance.
It's an
It's not-
extension of their variance?
No, it wasn't a variance. So
was
so
a
you pulled a
variance.
building permit to do renovations to your house, so you needed to either put the construction equipment in that pod on site or the furniture that's in your house so you can make the renovations to your house.
Oh, so it was just through a permit through the building
Yes,
department?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was
No,
that
no.
it had gone through.
Zoning, no, no.
Okay, that was my question, first question. Second one, policies and procedures manual change. I didn't quite catch, what was that for?
Payroll matters.
Payroll matters.
So,
It's a policy related to payroll, so right now, the way we pay our employees is, so we get paid, so payroll is processed on Tuesday, but we don't
Okay.
get paid till Friday.
Okay.
So on Tuesday, the payroll's processed, but tomorrow, when you get paid, you're paid like you're already worked tomorrow.
Correct.
So if you don't have enough vacation, sick, or personal time on the books as of
carry
Tuesday.
that extra day.
We switch you to hourly, so you're behind a week then. So we
Okay.
don't pay you to date if you don't have enough other accrued paid time
Okay,
off.
now-
So we're
now
not
I understand.
advancing you
Okay.
payment. So we're not prepaying you if you don't have enough accrued time on the books. And we've been doing this for years this way, but we've never had a policy written in the books, and I've been tasked to do that by the unions to put it on the books.
all right, is this a canned payroll system, or is it our specific payroll system?
No, it's through a vendor, Prime Point Payroll System.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
Yeah, so
A
we
lot of
manage-
companies do it that way, and,
Yeah, we manage it, but they actually do, like, they'll send our 990s in and our social security in and that.
all right, they
so
do the
on.
background checks and all of that?
No, we do the background
Oh,
checks.
you do the
They don't.
background?
We
You
do
do the
all
drug
hiring.
testing and everything?
We do all that.
Okay,
It's just a software program that I have from a vendor.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, again, it clears it up. I was wondering if it had to do anything with days of the week, hours of work, things like that. That's not changing.
No, no.
Oh, so you call those things?
Yes.
Okay. Just setting you up for the future. You know me. Municipal Housing Liaison. Who and what the heck is that?
It's Chris Reed and he's always been, we just had to, like,
Based on the new round.
rounds, we had to put it in paper, basically.
What does that person, individual entity do?
Well,
They oversee they oversee what used to be called the Council of Affordable Housing. So as Mr. Kennis said, we have 52 present, 172 prospective. So they will work with developers and they have to chart, like, again, so if we put in, let's say you're a qualifying individual and I can rehab your house under affordable housing. They will, he has to monitor all that and he has to do the spending. So now you come in with a new retail center, you're obligated to pay an affordable housing development fee. So then he has to log that, monitor that, report it all to the state, and the state sometimes takes the money for other projects as well in from this trust fund to put in group homes or so on and so forth. So he's the individual that is the nexus to the town that handles all of
And
that.
that's through our community development?
Yes, and it
Oh,
always
okay,
has.
it's not here then, it's over on Lacey Road, right?
I mean, on Route
Out of
9.
that department?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's no
I mean,
difference in
there's,
pay, there's no pay.
Okay, so
scale
we're not
going
adding
on.
a person.
No, no, no,
Right,
no, no.
to our payroll, we're just
Yes.
re-emphasizing and describing
He's doing,
the
yes.
job. Okay, thank you very much, always looking to save a buck.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Any, hi, how are you?
How are you? It's a wonderful evening. I'm David Dolan. Two things. One, you mentioned Bill S3006. Now, I work in the assembly. Technically, that's Stanley's bill, so shout out to him. And also, my bosses, Summerman Schnall, did some great work for Middlesex. I don't know how much
Carmen
that's...
was a co-sponsor.
Well, he was for the Senate side, which
Right.
he picked it up from Stanley, whatever, it doesn't matter. Second thing, now you did mention that there's some politics going on in town. There's an election coming up. I am running, so might as well mention that.
Good for you.
Secondly, I came from Bamber today. I was asking about like what issues that Bamber has that maybe the town hasn't addressed. One of them is Bamber Lake itself. Apparently, there's an issue with its dam, and the second issue is dredging. So then there's less grass in the lake itself. Now, I just want to know, as a concerned citizen, what have we done as a town to maybe make the lake a better place to use?
All right, so most likely you would not be able to dredge that lake
Okay.
because it's in the Pinelands recreation area. And we have been working with the state of New Jersey over the past 4 years, and we have a permit to replace that dam because it is mandated by the state of New Jersey to replace the dam. We are ready, we've received some money, we're taking, this is really funny, a dam safety loan.
Okay.
Yeah, to pay for it, and the price has basically doubled. So we've secured about $2.1 million under a loan from the state, but now they're looking at because the state now has gone back and changed what they want us to do to that dam, we're looking at a $4 million project now for that dam. And they're mandating us to change it. So we are securing some additional funds, which the mayor will speak about later on, with regards to that dam to hopefully rehab it within the next coming 18 months.
Okay. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Hold on. David, I want to thank you for coming by my house and
Yeah,
knocking on the door.
I didn't know you lived right down the street.
Well, yeah.
I went to every house on that road, and
You're
they
gonna
never
vote
said
for
that
him?
you came by them. So that's why I wanted to.
Well,
you know.
I will tell you this. I was coming out snipe one time, and I saw your sign, and I went, why is there a Democratic sign up there? So, but I do want to thank you, and I got mad at my wife because I was asleep down on the couch downstairs, and she should have come woke me up, so I do apologize for not getting.
Oh, no worries, no
you know.
worries. Hey,
So,
I just
but
wanted to.
I will wish you the best of luck, but not too much.
You know. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the audience?
Richard Bidnick. Good evening, Lacey citizens. Yes, it is election time coming up, and we, the Lacey Citizens of Responsible Government, decided this time and for moving forward that we will be doing performance evaluations for elected officials who are in a contested race. So Mr. McDonald is in a contested race right now, and we came up with a slew of different topics that were important to the citizens in our community, and I'm just here as the, I don't know, the mouthpiece or whatever for all the comments that were made, and so this is where I'm starting out with. The first thing was congeniality and dealing with the public, which you are elected to serve. In a statement you made in Patch on why you're running for re-election, posted 3 years ago, you stated, "Treat people as you want to be treated." In this category, the Lacey citizens reviewed you with a D, and it goes from A to F. As mayor, you showed total contempt and anger to citizens who questioned the Johnson Controls project. On one particular account, you completely lost control. It was horrifying to watch. You literally screamed at a member of the public that you are elected to serve. B, fiscal responsibility. In this category, you were given an F, and everyone voted this way. Examples: $310,000 of our tax funds were wasted on Johnson Controls. Another $38,000 was spent and lost on the engineer study. And surprisingly, most of the people in the group said $1 million for the Knights of Columbus purchase was something we should not have done, especially now that we understand it's going to be a big expense to have to replace the floor over there because of a cleaning mess. C, integrity, transparency, honesty, and leadership. I hate to say this, but you also received an F in this area also. Lack of transparency was obvious with the gaslighting and gatekeeping and refusing to share information with the public on a very expensive and extremely controversial municipal project. Another example given was the comment you made concerning the MUA about the $500K of their reserve funds that the Township Committee forced them to give to help the school district. You told the public in response that this was a one-shot deal, and it would not happen again. Well, it did happen again this year. D, handling concerns of the public. Do you listen and act? In this category, you also received an F. Comments given were that you have shown no concern whatsoever for the public or its concerns, and this was unanimous. E, handling issues that come up from the public. Are you responsive to their public's concerns? In this category also, you received an F. Examples given were the almost 2 years that citizens of the Forked River Beach area came to meeting after meeting concerning the grass cutting issues at the beach area. Not only did this go on and on, you promised these citizens who live over there a meeting in January of 2024, which never happened. F, does Mr. McDonald show clear moral authority in his decision-making, showing empathy and understanding of the public's concerns? Sadly, you were given an F, and this was unanimous. Examples given were the sale of Community Hall and the public outcry of selling a property which was given to the town at its request with the stipulation that the property was to be kept for education and social purposes. Selling this property is morally wrong and shows a complete lack of empathy on a topic which has no real support from the citizenry you are elected to serve. Yet you continue to follow the same folly. Now the town is embroiled in 2 lawsuits because of such actions. G, taxes. F, taxes have been going up every year. They have never once gone down. You said in your statement 3 years ago that creating a stable tax base was extremely important to you. Yet we never heard you once call out the school board concerning their absurd 10% tax hike, which was affected all of us negatively. You had the chance to show real leadership on this issue, yet you remained silent. And because of all of this overdevelopment of our town, the town has had to hire more workers, which costs the taxpayers more money instead of doing a job audit and eliminating waste. A well-run town should be accurate, efficient, and effective in all matters of business. H, quality of life. F, 3 years ago, you said your top concern and issue for this town is overdevelopment, making sure that there is not overdevelopment, especially on the Route 9 corridor.
Excuse me for 1 second. I'll let you come back up and finish, but I gotta see if there's anybody else in the audience that would like to come up and speak.
Regina DeSenza, Sunset Drive, Sunrise Beach. I have to say I had a hand in that report card, and if it was up to me, all of the grades would have been an F. Can't even pass kindergarten with those grades. So I'm here to complain about taxes as usual. My husband was actually startled when he finally got the corrected bill. He finally woke up a little bit, and he believes me now. But once upon a time in 2021, I believe it was, before I left the school board, I was in a township committee liaison meeting with the school district because I had subbed that day for the finance committee. And we met in the conference room, I believe, at Western Boulevard. Veronica was there, 2 township committee people were there, and Vanessa was there, exchanging what I called their visions of grandeur. Veronica arrived with some colored pictures of a new municipal complex. So I always knew about it before most other people did. And a lot of people didn't believe me, but I did tell people. But the funniest thing at that table was Vanessa and Veronica looking at each other. Oh, how are we going to get all that money from the taxpayers? Well, you blew $310,000 on the municipal complex with Johnson Controls. Okay? And then Vanessa was busy trying to figure out how she would get some kind of referendum, which has now come to light to the tune of $92 million after a 9.9% tax hike. How dare anyone on this committee or in this township say they have stabilized taxes? That is most untrue. My taxes have tripled since I moved here in 1999. Tripled. And for that bill to have opened my husband's eyes, it's pretty damn high, let me tell you. And I just gave Amy my quarterly payment. So I divided up around $300,000 by my quarterly tax payment. I think it was almost 200 quarterly, or 300, how many did I say it was? I divided it up. Hundreds of quarterly tax payments could have been used, you know, by normal taxpayers, but we don't have that money anymore because you spent it. And that money would have been better spent repairing this building and doing whatever needs to be done in here. And these walls are wood, and all you need to do is get like a $30 can of stain, and you can make this room look like new. I would be happy to do it for you, but I have a problem with my shoulder, and I can't do that much work anymore. But I do repair wood, and all you need is a can of stain, and you can make these walls look like new. This place can shine. And I'll tell you, one night, I made a note of the filthy fans we have in here that were filthy for years and years and years. And when I took pictures of them, all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, they were cleaned like new. This building has not been properly upkept ever in all the time I've been coming here.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else that'd like to speak?
Carol Middlestorff, Lenoka Harbor. I went to the planning board meeting, so I'm going to continue with the Complete Streets request, but I'm going to first thank Ryan from Recreation for the fantastic Lacey Day event. The Safe Streets for Kids booth was a great success with the volunteers of Laura Lorton and Kathy Barron. I thank them for all their hours of research and dedication. Our team was supported by Rails to Trails Conservancy, which is a federal group, Trail Link, Be Smart, Safe Streets New Jersey, Stop the Soot, Complete and Green Streets, which is a program of the NJDEP and the Federal Highway Administration. I especially thank Kathleen Ebert of our Safe Routes to School representative. She's Mercer and Ocean County rep and works with Complete Streets groups. In 2012, the resolution to adopt Complete Streets has had a positive effect on development over the past 12 years. I was contacted by our county rep, Ms. Ebert. She reached out to me and suggested that Lacey update the Complete Streets policy to the current Complete and Green Streets policy that was introduced in 2019. So we're still behind the times by a couple of years, so it'd be good to get in front of it. By doing so, Lacey would gain points towards our standing with Sustainable New Jersey. Additionally, if Lacey wants to achieve Gold Safe Routes to School recognition level again, it is now required to update the old Complete Streets policy, and I'm asking the committee to review and update the policy as soon as possible. If you need more information, you can find it online. They're also going to have a big representation at the League of Municipalities in AC. And I have one more thing. Okay. Change of pace. 57 years ago, there was a proclamation by the mayor, and it was October 20th, 1967. Whereas Charles Arthur Smith, humanitarian who lived in Forked River for many years, was a thoughtful and spiritual education, civic development, was thoughtful of the spiritual education and civic development of the people of Forked River. And whereas Charles Arthur Smith, through his estate, donated a gift of $10,000 to the churches and $15,000 for the purposes of providing the community hall, and whereas these gifts have been enjoyed by the people for, at that time, it was more than 40 years, and it was resolved by the mayor and the committee of the Township of Lacey to proclaim October 24th, 1967, Charles Arthur Smith Day. So happy Charles Arthur Smith Day, 57 years later.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Put it in our calendar.
Steve Ball, Forked River. Before I do my primary purpose, I just want to reemphasize the need for all of us, all the township, everyone listening, to help elect Donald Trump to be president. World War I was started with the assassination of two people, Archduke Ferdinand of Austria and his wife Sophia. Illegal immigrants have killed a number of U.S. citizens, and one is too many. And anyone that votes for anyone other than Trump is not recognizing that we're repeating history and allowing the wrong things to happen. As soon as one person was killed, and not even before that, that border should have been closed immediately.
He's allowed his time.
He's allowed his time. Yes.
It's the people's microphone.
Okay? So, again, vote for Donald Trump.
Thank you.
Ironically, today I worked all day, so I really didn't prepare a big statement, but I did get this flyer in the mail, and I did want to ask Mr. McDonald a couple specific questions. On the flyer, you say government needs common sense and transparency today. Will you give us some details of how you, if reelected, will provide transparency and common sense to the citizens of Lacey Township?
Any citizen who asks me a question, I'll answer it to the best of my ability, truthfully. I've always done that. That, to me, that's transparency. I have not
Okay,
hid
so in the
anything.
past, you answered all your questions, and you were transparent about it.
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Well, you, as mayor, without telling any of us, and there seems to be a little bit of confusion as to who directed you to sign the pre-development agreement with Johnson that cost us over $300,000. So where was the transparency? And on top of it, we had to go through the request for information to get a copy of that document. And coincidentally, you people, whoever, gave us an unsigned copy. And then we had to go further to get the one with your signature on it because you were the mayor. So could you explain the common sense and transparency about that, your signature?
The mayor, and I was the mayor at the
You
time.
were the mayor. You were the top guy.
Let me finish. The mayor only has one vote. That's it.
Well, why are you the mayor then?
It's a committee form of government,
That's a
Steve.
committee form of government. That's how we do it. The mayor
So
only-
it's just
Let-
a-
you
go
you
ahead.
asked the question,
Go
let
ahead.
me finish it. The mayor only has one vote. So we had the meeting in executive session, which we're allowed to do because the deal dealt with real estate.
Right.
Okay? The committee voted for it. As the mayor, it comes to me, I signed it. It's as simple as that.
Well, now let's go to
Even-
common
even if I-
sense.
even if I
Common
vote-
sense,
even
common
if I voted
sense.
against it, I still have
Okay,
to sign
you
it.
told me, you just went along with the committee. Common sense, I am assuming that the mayor has a little bit more authority than the committee.
No.
And is the
No.
leader.
No.
All right, is the mayor, okay, let me ask you this, because I can't understand this rotating mayor. Does the mayor have more authority than a single other committee member?
No.
So what is the purpose of calling someone a
Mayor gets
mayor?
a-
Presiding over the meetings.
Presiding over meetings.
Right. And
That's
signing
it.
official documents.
Not to be the leader of the township to
Ma-
say,
marrying
maybe
individuals.
this might be a bad idea. Okay?
No.
Right, all the chatter.
And I want to ask Mr. McDonald, you have absolutely nothing on your prior record. Can you give us a example? Well, I'm reading your flyer right here. There's nothing on your prior record.
Excuse me for 1 second, Steve. I'm going to ask that there be no talking while someone else is trying to talk.
It's very distracting.
It is very distracting because it's echoing up here. So I'm asking you to just sit quietly while someone speaks, and then you can speak if you choose to. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay. Put another way, as you've been reelected before, right? How many years have you served?
This is my third time.
Third time.
Third time.
So you have a past record, right? How come you didn't put any of your past accomplishments on this flyer? Or let me ask you, what are your past accomplishments?
What are my past accomplishments?
We look at the committee and the mayor as the governing body and our leaders to accomplish positive things for us town people. So I'm asking you, give me an example of one of your positive accomplishments in your years serving on the committee, because I got to decide whether I'm voting for you. Right now, I'm not voting for you because you've given me nothing. Okay, so convince me why I should vote for you.
Probably the biggest one in town was the Whibbit. I brought the Whibbit in here. No, wait a minute, hold on. No, you shake your heads. No, I got.
No, I guess that's a positive thing.
Steve, you shake your head. You have any idea how much money that brings in each year?
How much?
Over $100,000.
Okay.
Okay.
And how much
Wait a
was?
minute, I'm not
Okay.
done. Plus, the food trucks and stuff that go there for the kids, they make a living off of that. That's a good deal.
Okay. How come you didn't put that on here? That would have been something. I mean, I'm trying to decide. I'm a Republican. You're a Republican. I go to the Republican meetings. I come to township meetings. I believe the Republican Party is the common sense party. But for some reason, I'm not convinced with the committee in Lacey Township as the common sense party for us to vote for. So I just look at this flyer as you're saying, well, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do this, and it says we need common sense more than ever. More than ever.
Yes.
So that means there must have not been enough of transparency and common sense in your prior term. That's how I read that.
Yeah, I mean, look, do we always get along? Of course not. So some of the things I've lost on, I disagreed with. So that's the best I can answer. When we meet and we talk,
Okay.
all right? Some of the things, Mr. Cort, you want to, let me answer? Let me finish it. Mr. Cortatello may want something, and I'll talk, he'll call me, I'll go, Pete, I don't think that's going to work. Mr. Kennis will call me, same thing. So, yeah, common sense. It's not common sense to me. Pete, Steve, or Pete may like it.
The spirit of that flyer, I think, I'm not taking away from our former mayor or our current committeeman, is when you're talking about common sense, it's the macro. Because there's the macro, the large picture, the national picture, the stain of the vacuum in leadership, I think is what that
So this is a
talking
flyer
about.
for the nation?
No, what that's talking about is that it's a vacuum of leadership. There's leadership that's missing at the national level, and we want to protect our own house.
Absolutely.
I think that's the spirit of what you're holding in your left hand. That was the message that was trying to be conveyed.
Well,
We control what we can control up here, and, go ahead, Tim.
One of the things I've also done is when the school was in flux with the problems they were having, I was meeting with Carmen Amato and when he was in office, Senator Connors, to try to resolve this situation. It wasn't out in the open. It was done behind closed doors because we were trying to write a letter and so forth like that. We were doing it the proper way. A lot of the stuff I do, I just do it. I don't need the cameras around me.
That was a nice non-answer. Changing things, how come you didn't mention the new municipal complex in here, in your flyer?
Because it's been tabled.
For good? Because already there's rumors around town that there's going to be a second effort next year. And I'm hearing that from pretty reliable sources. You don't know?
I have
You
no
don't know?
idea whether we bring it back up or not.
And you know, when you talk about transparency, and I think about some of the meetings and some of the answers and some of the things you didn't tell us that you know, I think that you didn't have a lot of transparency. Okay? And I think a lot of the one thing you did admit with Mr. Kennis was that you thought spending that money over almost $500,000, close to it, $500,000, that it was a good idea, right?
What $500,000 are we talking about?
On the new municipal complex and the
Wait, wait,
phony
we-
engineers report
We
that
did not
was.
spend anywhere near $500,000.
You,
About $350,000.
all right, well, $350,000.
Yes, I still-
Okay, you thought it was a good idea.
Absolutely.
Okay, can you tell me and tell the people of Forked River, Lacey Township, why that was a good idea?
Yeah, we have, because of that, because of Johnson Controls, okay, we've been introduced to another company that wants to come in and pay us money for a solar project. How's that?
Pay you money, pay us
No,
money.
pay the township money,
For doing what?
a solar project. And we're looking at it. That came from Johnson Controls.
How do you know?
Well, I know it came from Johnson Controls.
So who could I call in Johnson Control to verify that?
let me just
You
interrupt.
got, who is your go-to person with Johnson Control? And could you email me their email?
So any of the things that involve real estate generally, or any business matters, like real estate business matters, are not subject or open to the public. I've said this many times at public meetings. A lot of times, those are contracts that we're not allowed to talk about. For example, we had a number of meetings for the windmills, for Ørsted to build a transmission building on the current power plant property. And we were negotiating with them to give us a host community benefit. And I can't, so I'm not going to speak about it right now because it was, again, it's contractual, but once they pulled out of the project, that went by the wayside. But the point is that we negotiate, these things are not public information. We're not allowed to talk about them in public.
Based on what?
For fear of, number one, they can negotiate with other townships and then use the leverage of our negotiation with other townships. They're not just negotiating with us. So that's one thing. And then what's the other thing I was going to say? Anyway, the point is, on real estate, we do not negotiate, and they're not subject to public.
All right, Steve, before you go any further, I have to see if anybody else would like to speak, because you've gone over
Okay,
your 5
all right.
minutes. Okay?
I do have a few more
All right,
comments.
so you can come back up once I see if there's anybody else that would like to speak. Approach, please.
After listening to Steve speak, and before I go trying to play catch-up on the website, are the meeting minutes up to date on the website at this time?
They should be.
If I try to go back 3 to 4 weeks and read over everything?
Yes, they should be. There should
Okay,
be
because
no
I've
reason
listened
not
to the meetings, but I want to see more specifics in the meeting,
Yes.
in the minutes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else before I call up? Oh, yes, Barry, come on.
Come on up, Barry.
Barry Bender, whoops, this is not good. It's falling over. I'm going up.
Just leave it just the way it is. I think
All
it's
right.
the best thing.
Yeah, it's been taped on.
It's still going to
Okay.
hear you, though.
All right, we're fine. Going to be a little out of character because I usually don't come up at these meetings and talk politics.
Go right ahead.
But since it's happened already, I'm going to roll right into it. We're talking about common sense and looking out for people, as opposed to some previous statements made. You'd have to drag me in dead to vote for Donald Trump, okay? Because, and I'll give you the reason why. I have two children with Asperger's. When he made fun of a handicapped reporter in 2016, as far as I was concerned, he was dead to me. And I'm sorry, that's not something that a regular human being should be doing. A president should have character and morals, and to me, that goes way, way, way below that. So I'm just giving you my opinion. Also, just to remind people, on Election Day, there are other choices, like green ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. Okay, Mr. Bidnick, would you like to come back up and finish yours? Well, I don't think anybody else wants to speak, right? So I'm going to go back to the two that had more to say.
Okay, to continue where I left off. H was the quality of life in our community. 3 years ago, Mr. McDonald, you said your top concern and issue for this town is overdevelopment, making sure that there is not overdevelopment, especially on the Route 9 corridor. Sadly, for all of us here in Lacey Township, what we have gotten is the complete opposite: overdevelopment and more horrendous traffic. You were quoted as saying in the Patch article 3 years ago, smart, safe growth, and accountable government. We all know this is not what we have gotten, and things have just sadly gotten worse. There has been no leadership on this category, and all that the township needs to do is stop allowing these multi-unit housing projects, which are creeping up all over town and stick to the letter of the law on commercial properties and not give out variances left, right, and center. So even in that category, you received an F. The conclusion of all of this is the overall job performance of Timothy McDonald is an F. And I have to say this because I was the director of many institutions. If I had an employee who got a performance evaluation like this, they wouldn't be working for me any longer. And I know you're probably going to get reelected because people in this town, they just go in and they look at whether you're an R or a D or whatever, something I would love to see go away, and people actually have to run on their own without any party affiliation, because I really don't believe in a small town like this that it really makes any difference. We're all in this together. We really are. And the sad part is that politicians today, they constantly are dishonest to the American people. Everywhere. Our federal government, our Speaker of the House, our current president and administration, which has lied to us about everything, the mess that our country is in right now, the wars that we're involved in, they lie each and every day about everything, to a point where the American people no longer believe the media because the media is kind of in bed with the administration. And we need, at least in our own little town, we need honesty. We need transparency. We need commitment of service, people doing it because they care about the citizens in their community. I mean, I do what I do because I actually care, and I put myself on the line. And yeah, I get criticized. I don't mind it because I believe in what I'm doing. I actually do really care about the town. It really matters to me. It saddens me that 20 years ago, the town isn't the same the way it was 20 years ago when I moved here. There's been a lot of changes. I hear it all the time from people. The taxes are high, and they've continued to go up. And I would love to see a job audit. I'd love to see actually what we really need in certain areas. I would like to see the town prove to the citizens that we actually need all these positions, since you're asking us to pay for all of them. And in all honesty, if we worked together and did all these things that I'm talking about, we wouldn't have these things happening. We'd actually be able to work together as a team to try to make our community better, which is something that is really important to me. I mean, we have school problems, we have, people with tax issues, we've got, crime that's changing in our community because of, the population issues, et cetera, and we need to work together on coming up with solutions, not just you making these decisions. That's why I asked for a survey. I asked you to put out a survey to our community of what we would like, what we would find important, what are our priorities, and then from there, you as our elected officials can take the reign, that this is what the people of Lacey Township are really concerned about. Now, I know, Mayor Giuliano, that you had said that the one thing that you had heard during the Johnson Controls issue was taxes. People were very, very concerned about taxes. So, number one, what are you going to do about it? You have a new budget now that Veronica and her CFO are going to have to come up with. What are you going to do to try to contain the tax rate? I would love to see 1 year where our taxes do not go up. I'm sure every citizen in our community would feel that way because we've gotten a huge tax increase on everything we purchase. When we go to the store, when we buy a car, when we buy food, car insurance, everything. The increases are they're killing a lot of people. And I'm asking you again, and I know you're probably going to win, but when you're running for office and you say things, please be honest and follow through with the things that you say that are important to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Bitnick, thank you for your comments.
Is there anybody else after Mr.? Okay, Tony, just so I know.
It's actually nice that you give me a break. That's working against you. So I'm letting you know now. It's not to your benefit to do that.
Nice that you give me
All right, Steve.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to the whippet. Was that a gross or net figure? Because
Gross.
Gross, okay. So it's not the actual money that we got, because, let me just,
Okay, go ahead.
okay? You must have insurance, extra employees.
Well, no, actually, we
You
don't.
don't have extra employees watching that Whippet?
No.
If you had no Whippet there, you would have the same amount of
No additional-
employees
No
there?
additional cost. Go ahead. I'll answer your question. Go ahead.
Okay, now you got to have the company come, take it down, right, the company,
Right.
store it,
Yep.
take it out of storage,
Yep.
put it back up.
Yep.
So what was the net on the 100,000?
Well, it was over.
After you deduct all the
Actually-
costs
Actually, if
associated?
I remember correctly, I think it was like 120, 125, something in that area we took in this year, something like that. We'll net, after all the expenses, now remember, it pays for all the guards, okay? It pays for a lot of things in town. Jim does a very good job of monitoring that. We never had to hire a single person, extra person with that. It pays for the storage, the company to come in, break
Right,
it down.
part of the 100,000.
I would say, I haven't talked to Jim about that. I would say we're gonna come in, profit-wise, 70,000.
That sounds a little high, but.
I guarantee
How do
you-
where are the actual figures at that I could research?
We'll get them. We'll get
Okay.
them to you.
You're
We'll get them
gonna,
out.
could I request that you do a presentation on them if you get reelected?
Yeah, I'll have Jim come in and do it. I'll have the recreation director come in and do it because he knows the nuts and bolts of it.
Okay. All right. Getting back to the solar panels that the company's paying the township, you said. Now, at the time.
Wait,
now-
hold on,
no.
hold on. If we decide to go forward with it.
What's that?
We haven't made any
We
decision
haven't made
about
any
this.
decision.
This is, and this is probably about the third or fourth person that has approached us for solar panels.
That's right, we're just getting information.
I've
Oh,
talked
okay,
about,
well,
if you go back and look at all the meetings, I've
Mr.
talked about all this
Mr.
stuff many
McDonald
times.
used that to justify spending all that money, and that was his answer.
No, I
wasn't
did
it?
not use that to justify it.
Okay.
I
Well, you said it brought the.
You asked me what came out of that.
Right.
And this company, like Mr. Kenneth said, we have talked to several solar companies. Because they want to come in.
That approached you, or you approached
They
them?
approached us.
Right.
Okay.
They're walking around on the streets all the time.
Exactly.
No, that's not how it works.
And we haven't been,
No?
No, that's not how it works.
and we haven't
Okay.
been satisfied. This company, they came in, made their pitch.
What happens to the extra electricity?
Well, we haven't gotten that far. We haven't.
Okay, well-
They got to make a presentation to us.
Okay.
Then we can get into the nuts and bolts of it. This is how the process works, okay? They make a present, we got to say, yes, you can come in.
Right.
Okay, they want to investigate the town.
Oh, you got to ask the right
Right.
questions, too.
Then they come back in with a presentation, then we ask questions. Mr. Connors will be involved in it, I'm sure, because there's going to be a contract involved.
If it gets that far.
If it gets that far, exactly. This is in the
Yeah.
infancy
Well,
stages.
I don't really see the relationship
Okay.
between the two, actually, you know, you kind of, like said, well, this came out of that.
Right.
You didn't know at the time you were signing that you were going to have a fantastic solar deal, did you?
No.
I've said this many times. Our responsibility in the Township Committee is to try and stabilize the tax rate as best we can. The only way that we stabilize the tax rate without pushing it onto the taxpayers is by increasing our rateable base. That's commercial property, that's residential property, that's additions. That is the only way that we can keep up with the increases in our expenses. So you will always see building going on in Lacey Township, unless you're going to propose, or somebody else in the audience wants to propose, that the township starts purchasing that property for open space. Then we could take it off the tax rolls, and then it won't get built on. Now, of course, you'll be paying to do that, but, you know, you can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and complain about the cost of your taxes and then say that we're not doing anything about it. We do a lot about it. I've said it also many times. The township, the municipal township is run very well.
How long
in
have
my
you been on the
opinion.
committee?
12 years.
12 years. Were you here when they, on the committee with the Home Depot and the Walmart and
I
all
wasn't
that?
on the committee, I was on the
Okay,
planning board.
and what did the committee tell it to justify putting all those box stores in? What'd they tell them?
They probably said something to the effect that it will keep your taxes stable. Maybe, I don't know what they said. I wasn't.
Well, you were on the committee.
I was
You
on the
don't
planning
remember?
board, I just said, planning board.
Planning board.
Remember, Steve, that site where the Home Depot and the Kohl's was supposed to be a housing development.
Right.
That whole time zone.
And so,
Well,
wait,
they sort of
it's-
squeezed them in afterwards.
and to your,
And they're putting more right
So
down the
our health
street.
insurance costs are going up 17% this year. 17%. If we do not have a rateable base to pull that off of, or try and make a, host community benefits or
I
meet
don't
with other
understand
developers,
what you're saying.
The 17% is coming out of your pocket.
And there's just so.
Whose health insurance? Your
The
own
township,
health insurance?
no, I don't have health
Oh, okay.
insurance.
You
I
said
pay
we.
for my health.
You said we.
The township. When I'm
So
sitting up
you
here, I'm
would be
talking about the
included. When you
township.
say we, you
I pay
yourself
for
is
my own
included.
health insurance out of my own pocket.
Okay, well, you didn't say that. You
Let me-
said we.
Let me just say, it. And if you go back and look at it, our health insurance over the last 3 years has gone up almost 60%.
It's the biggest nut.
Okay? And here's what's happening, and I've talked about this before. The state will come in and say, you know what, for the state employees, we're gonna hold it at 3% and we'll eat that, we'll eat the difference. The county will come in and say to the county employees, we're gonna hold you at 3% increase, we'll eat the difference. We don't have the money to eat that difference here. So our employees, the police department, Public Works, whoever works in this building, whoever works for the Lacey Township, is getting screwed. Plain and simple. They're gonna have to pick up that.
Well, we enjoy the company.
What?
We enjoy the company.
17% this year, a 60% increase on the health insurance. That's a lot.
Okay. Well, part of it is because we're a Republican town.
No, that's
that's
across
the
the
state.
board, across
Oh,
the
yeah?
state. It's across the state. They just don't pick and say, Lacey Township's health insurance is going up 17%. No, they can't do that. It's going up 17% across the state.
So how much is the insurance per employee
I think-
3 years ago, and how much is it now?
A family plan this year is breaking 50,000, Veronica? It's breaking
In
50,000.
2025,
What?
2025.
In 2025, we'll break $50,000.
That we pay?
Yes.
Well, they-
Well,
No,
there's a split a little bit. So the employee.
Well, I want to know the bottom line. How much does the township taxpayers pay per employee?
Well, they're different. It depends if they're a single employee or they're married or
The
they're.
single one. Let's go with the basic cheapest one. The
A single is probably around 18-ish,
Yes, you are correct.
18-ish,
Over a little bit.
18,000. The employee pays probably 9-ish, 8-ish.
Depends on their earnings.
So that's, all townships suffer the same thing?
That's correct.
The more
Okay.
you earn, the more you pay.
Yep.
The what?
The more you earn, the more of the premium you pay that gets deducted
No,
out of your
wait.
paycheck.
That's for the employee. They're not
For
to
the
confuse
employee.
things.
Right.
The employee pays, rough numbers, about 10%, maybe a little less, 8% of the total. If a family plan is 50,000, they'll pay about 12. The employee will pay about 12.
Your average-
The township, you will pay the balance, 38,000, 30,000, whatever it is. For every employee.
That's our.
Well,
big-
that's
our biggest-
a necessary thing. There's no way around it. I mean, it's not like
Well, no, you
it's
can't-
not like the $100 million municipal complex. I can't beat you up on the health insurance. That's a necessary thing, and they're entitled to it. So you just got to bite the bullet on that. But anyways, if you get in, I'm still not voting for you. If you get in, I would like you to do a presentation on the Whippet, all right?
I will have.
Okay?
I will have Jim Weiling come in, Director of
Oh.
Recreation. He
Okay.
knows the nuts and bolts, and he'll do a presentation. Won't be a problem.
All right. That's it.
Thank you. Tony, you have something else you wanted to say? You do too.
Looks like this has turned into a political event, so. Let me say this, you know, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I've said it so many times. I hate Democrats. I hate Republicans. I'm a loudmouth independent. You're who I'm after. All of you. The Democrats that are running, you're going to be exposed to this. So be prepared. This is not because they're Republican, it's because they're sitting in those chairs. If you're not willing to take the abuse, bail out now, buddy, okay? Because it's going to happen, one way or the other. Now, as for the action committees, I don't play well with other people, as you can tell. So I don't become part of any kind of action committee. I had a problem with the township in Sunrise Beach. I went to the mayor face to face. I challenged him on a particular problem. I challenged the administrator at the time with the problem. We sat down face to face, eye to eye. We came to a conclusion. I wasn't happy, but The situation was addressed. By the way, it failed again.
Okay.
Okay, so the Department of Public Works
All right.
leave a lot to be desired as far as I'm concerned, so I'm not real happy with them. No. If I have a problem, I'll address the mayor with
Okay.
it the same way. You're not the mayor this time.
Okay.
Okay? I'll take it
The
to
mayor heads
I'll
up
take
on
it to the mayor, like I did last time. And maybe I will, or maybe my attorney will. But the point comes down to, everybody in this township has people speaking for them. Nobody speaks for me.
Right.
I come up and I speak.
Yep.
If they don't have guts enough to come themselves, and they got to send a mouthpiece, it's not worth listening to as far as I'm concerned,
Thank you, Tony.
okay? If you got a problem with these people, come up and face them, face to face, and tell them your problems, or tell them your concerns. But if you have to send somebody else to be a mouthpiece, you're just a coward, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know if I should believe the mouthpiece or not. I don't see a notarized document that it was a petition that was official. I'm listening to other people. Not that I'm questioning their integrity. I'm sure that they come up here with good intentions. That's not the point. The point is that people have to stand up for themselves if they have an issue and come. It's an open, public meeting. It's called America. It's the way we do things. Get out and vote, no matter who you vote for. I don't really care. I'll vote for who I want to vote for. And everybody in this town should do the same thing, whether it be on a federal, township, county, any kind of level you want to think about. Get out, vote your heart, vote what you believe in, because that's the way America works. And as for the expenses, it's not them, it's the Board of Education. And nobody has the guts to go up and talk at the Board of Education meeting because they're afraid of retaliation from the union. And that's the truth.
That's it.
They're afraid that their kids are going to suffer if they open their mouth at the Board of Education. And 66% of your taxes is the Board of Education, not these people. Am I upset? Nah, you haven't seen me mad yet. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tony, for your comments. Okay, one more time I'm going to ask. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you did raise your hand, please.
Yes.
Linda Miller, Forkett River. It's obvious that we all need to pray a little more. So our moment of silence, I would hope that we could be saying the Lord's Prayer like we used to. We do it at the county, and I actually read on my computer that the
Take your time.
our big judges in Washington. I always
Supreme Court?
Exactly. Said on Monday that the Lord's Prayer can be said in public again.
Yes.
At meetings. So I'm hoping we can adopt that here in place of the silent moment.
I think the reason why a lot of places do a moment of silence is so that everybody prays in a different manner, and they may have a different religion. And so this accords everyone to take that moment and to pray in a way that they see fit.
Okay. Well, how about the Lord's Prayer and a moment of silence?
I'm just explaining why.
Yeah,
Why it
appreciate
goes to
that.
a moment of silence.
It's a courtesy to
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm pretty much in agreement with a lot of things that were said here this evening. I know it's difficult for all of us, but I know a lot of people, myself included, have never come to the podium before this past year because of sometimes we, the people, are not really treated the way we think we should be treated. It's a little nerve-wracking. So maybe some of that could.
So how do you think it feels on this side?
Well,
I'm just asking.
I'm not
just
getting-
asking, how do you think it feels on this side?
well,
So when you step into this, it's a rude awakening, and you try to do the best you can. I disagree with a lot that was said about what our job is. My job is to help my town, and I do that every day. I don't care who believes it and who doesn't believe it, because I do. I go out and I support the people of this town, whether it's my police department, my firemen, my DPW, my MUA, I'm there. because they're a part of this town, and I give 100%. I don't care who agrees with me and who believes me. That's what I know in my heart, what I do. Someone calls me, I'm there. Someone texts me, emails me, whoever it is, I answer them, okay? They might not like all the answers I give, but I answer them, because that's my job, to be here and do that. I don't have any more power than the rest of these men, but it is my job as the mayor to do. Once I become a committee person again, I'll be doing the same thing that I did as a mayor. Nothing really changes. It's just a name. That's all it is.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Well, I would hope that you would consider, we the people, we have, not myself, but other people have come to the podium with ideas about what could be happening in our community that may save some money, and it just seems like you're not listening. So,
That's
thank
your
you very
opinion.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Before you close the floor, we're closing the floor. If any, oh, Mr. Bidden.
During our lively debate here, with which Mr. Kennis was, talking about the budget and the insurance increases, there are other ways besides increasing taxes to manage your budget. We all know that there's a thing called cutting spending, something that government body is not really good at, unfortunately. And I mean, there's a thing called priorities, and there's things that are absolutely necessary, and there are the things that you may like to do that aren't all that important to the vast majority of us. And maybe, we need to have a police department to protect us, obviously, but maybe a lot of other things may not be as important as people actually being able to pay for their health insurance, or pay for the food on the table, or be able to pay for their taxes. And this is, another thing that, we all need to sort of kind of address. A lot of us have had to really, change our lifestyle, cut back on our spending, all those types of things. So the fact of the matter is that the insurance increase, okay, I ran a lot of different agencies. I hired a lot of part-time people because I didn't want to pay them health benefits.
Did you just, not to interrupt you, but I understand your point, and I'm using the health insurance just as illustrative example.
No.
Did you hear Veronica when she said that the dam now might cost double? Like,
Right.
this stuff happens
No.
all the time. So
I
So
understand.
where are we getting the double part of that bill?
Well, the issue at hand here too is that there are things, maybe there's possibility of getting grants. I don't know.
We
This
do
is-
all this stuff.
You do all this stuff?
I don't do it.
There's no grants for that dam out there.
Not for the dam,
Right.
but we do apply for grants when we
When
can.
you can, when they're available. I'm not saying things don't come up. I didn't say that the damn thing doesn't need to be replaced. I'm just throwing out different things. The big fixed costs for every business is the employees.
Correct.
The benefits, the pension costs, okay? So we have to work around this, and we know it's not going to be getting any cheaper, right? It's going to be getting more expensive each year. So something I've tried to talk to the school about, another issue there too, about the priorities with that. And the teachers union, of course, they never gave anything back. All the increase went to their salaries and their benefits. I begged them at the public meetings, you want us to give 10%, what are you giving back? It's for you to keep your jobs and your health benefits and everything else. So it's a two-way street. And we get screwed, I'm sorry to say this, the taxpayers get screwed all the time if we do not have people in place and in government who are looking out for us.
We do look out for you because we are all taxpayers.
We're all taxpayers.
Yeah, but you know what? Some
Fight
of
the
you are
fight.
benefiting in different ways than
No-
the rest
no-
of us
How
are.
are we benefiting?
None of us.
How are we benefiting?
Okay, well, didn't you have an affiliation with the Lacey Township School District?
I'm a part-time employee. I get
Right.
no benefits, no nothing from
But
them.
you get a salary, right?
Okay, yes,
All
I
right,
do.
Mr. Binnick, even
Yes.
putting that aside, I don't get
Would you like to
anything.
know what I get from
Okay,
I
them?
don't
I'm
get
just-
anything from
hey,
the township.
you're asking me
don't
these
get
things.
Yeah, Mr. McDonald doesn't.
You're
a
asking
dime.
me these things. but
Neither
I'm
does
saying-
Mark.
You're saying something, and you make a statement like that we're getting benefits from something. So clarify what that
I
means.
just did. I just threw something out there, and you don't like
Well,
the
wait.
answer.
Well, wait,
I
well,
said-
no.
It makes
Hold on,
no
hold on.
sense.
You said we, all of us. She's the only one that works for the school district.
And I'm a
Mr.
part-time
Curatolo works for the
employee.
county. Mr. Kenneth
I
works
get
for
no
himself, and I'm
benefits. I have
retired,
no
so we
health
don't get a dime.
benefits.
I don't want to get into an argument about this.
It's not
No,
an
you threw
argument.
it out
You
there.
threw it
Well,
out there, so now I'm answering you.
Okay, so Do you receive a salary from the school district?
Not a salary. I get paid by the hour.
Okay, so you're benefiting, and that is the point that I'm making.
How am I benefiting? I'm working for that.
But it goes back to, you see, this is the issue that I have. The people who live in this town, who work for the town or work for the school, are actually getting paid by us, the taxpayers. So they're actually paying for part of their own salary. Do you understand? Your taxes are actually coming back to you possibly in a salary for a job. That's the point that I'm making.
But that's no
But that
different from
goes on
ShopRite and like
everywhere.
food.
It goes on everywhere.
That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense.
Of
I'm
course, to
sorry.
you it doesn't. But to me, it does, and a lot of other people, okay?
Bring all those people. That's the whole thing.
Not enough people.
I would love to see a lot
I mean,
of people
people who
come
work
and
in
talk to me.
government, no, people who actually work in government just think that this is the way. Look, I know. I worked for government for a
Okay.
long time, and I
Yes.
understand how it works,
Yes, I
quite frankly.
appreciate your responses. Yes,
Right.
thank you very much.
All right. I'm just saying to you, it's like before you throw things out there, like you did, okay, how do we benefit? Well, you do have a job with them.
I didn't throw it out there. You
Okay,
did.
all
You
right,
threw
and it was
out there, that
also
we're all
you,
benefiting somehow.
and you also went to the MUA when there was going to be paraprofessional jobs that were going to be lost,
Yes,
and you
these
went there.
Women that are supporting their family, okay? They're supporting their family. If they lost their job, they'd have no benefits for their family.
But is it really your job? That's the school district's job. Is it really your job to be doing the bidding for the
It is
school
my
district?
job to get help as much as I can to anybody I can in this town. That's my job.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the audience that would like to speak?
Seeing none, motion to close.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Come on.
It's a 5-minute, just so you know.
Yes, no problems. I'll be
Thank you.
given 5, I promise. Name. I just want to.
Just give me your name, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melody Pryor, Whitcomb Road, Forked River. We were discussing, or it was made mention before, the affordable housing. Will that be, is that planning on being completely finished in the next 10 years?
It's never finished, but what's your
It's
question?
never going to be finished,
We have to meet the numbers by
Every time the governor
2035.
tells us something, we have to meet the numbers.
By 2035 is when you're supposed to meet a certain
The next round, yes.
quota or
Yeah.
amount, okay. And do you know what that exact amount of
I
buildings
said
or?
172,
units?
172, I think 172 units or thereabouts
Total?
for that, for
For the second.
172 affordable housing units.
Okay. And is that really?
Around 107, I don't remember.
Whatever a developer
Whatever-
would come in and want to build.
Once the build, okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay. And there's one thing. Sorry, I'm not trying to take your time, guys.
I have something I want to read to the public before anybody leaves, so when you're done, Ms. Melanie.
Absolutely, I just wanted to. Well, it's not important, I'll bring it to the next one.
Yes, please do.
I sure will. Everybody, thank you for your service, I know it's not easy.
Thank you, Melanie, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keeping the town out.
Close the floor.
No more comments, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have a letter I'd like to read to the public out there. It was sent to me from Gary Quinn, the Deputy Director of the Ocean County Board of Commissioners. Dear Mayor Giuliano, congratulations, the Ocean County Board of Commissioners approved funding for your municipality under the Ocean County ARPA allocation number 4. In allocation number 4, your municipality was funded for the following project under the ARPA category of infrastructure. Category 5.9, Clean Water Non-Point Service. Project 5.9, South Dock Bulkhead, replacement of 1,000 linear feet, including electric, plumbing, accessories, along with the roadway restoration, $1,520,000. Do I have that number right, Veronica?
Yes.
Make sure I said it properly. Project 5.9, Bamber Lake Dam Spillway Reconstruction. New steel sheeting wall with integral concrete cap and replacement manual sluice gate with electronic to control backup. $1,530,000. In the next couple weeks, the county will forward additional correspondence on the ARPA funding process. Very truly yours, Gary Quinn, Deputy Director of the County of the Board of Commissioners. Just wanted to share some good news, positive news out there to the public. Thank you.
Resolution 2024-294, resolution in Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the convening of an executive session in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act to discuss personnel matters, contractual matters, pending anticipated litigation, and matters of real estate.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. No further business.
Thank you.
Dave.